Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadyayiniim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura suraganah Devaya tasmai namaha. Devaya tasmai namaha. Hari Om. Let us read the verses 28 to 31 that we saw in the last class. Dravya yajñastapo yajña yoga yajñastata pare swadhyaya jnana yajñascha yataya samshita vratah apane jovate pranam prane panam tata pare Pranapanagati Rudhva Pranayama Parayana Apare Niyataharah Pranan Praneshu Jovati Sarve Pyete Yajna Vidah Yajna Kshapita Kalmashah Yajñashishtamrita bhujah yanti brahma sanatanam nayam lokostya yajñasya kutonyah kuru sattama. So we've seen these verses last last class, and in the 28th verse, 5 spiritual disciplines were mentioned. 5 yajnas, as Bhagavan calls them here. The first was Dravya Yajna, meaning a variety of charities. It can be in terms of money, in terms of materials, or in the form of knowledge. It can be anything. Then tapas. Tapas here means moderation, mastery of sense organs. Then the practice of Ashtanga Yoga, Swadhyaya Yajna, the Parayanam of scriptures. And finally, Jnana Yajna. Jnana Yajna in this list cover all of the disciplines that help in the study of the scriptures. It's not the same Jnana Yajna that we talked about in verse 24. Okay, subtle differences are there. These are all those practices, disciplines, the studies you undertake that will help you in gaining the knowledge. Then in verse 29, he talked about pranayama sadhana. Pranayama, most of you are familiar with that. So that's a great discipline. He mentioned that in verse 29. Then the 12th and final yajna, ahara niyama. Ahara niyama. Moderation in eating, that itself is a great yajna. And we are hearing more and more about it these days. Okay. So the great sadhakas who practice these 12 sadhanas, if not all of them, at least a few of them, or at least one of them, they will benefit a great deal by destroying their mental impurities. And then Bhagavan condemned those whose life is not spiritual in any shape or form. They do not do any kind of these yajnas. They do not observe any of these disciplines. They are the indolent, the indulgent, the criminal. Such people will not gain joy in this world also, nor will they gain anything, any joy in the higher worlds. They do not get peace or freedom or anything higher. So he criticized such people. Now we continue with verse 32. Let us read. Evam bahuvida yajnyaha. Evam bahuvida yajnyaha. Vitata brahmano mukhe. Vitata brahmano mukhe. Karmajan vidhitan sarvan. Karmajan vidhitan sarvan. Evam jnatva vimokšyase. Evam jnatva vimokšyase. Evam bahuvida yajnyaha. Vitata brahmano mukhe. Karmajan vidhitan sarvan. Evam jnatva vimokšyase. The 12 yajnas that were mentioned in the last few verses, they are only a sample. It's not an exhaustive list. Hundreds of yajnas are given in the Vedas. Bhagavan has given a few as sample only from the Vedas. If we read commentaries of various acharyas, you will see references to various portions of Vedas from where these examples are taken and cited here. Sri Krishna had mentioned earlier in this chapter that over a period of time, the Vedic wisdom was lost, and he actually has taken avatara to revive it and not to introduce anything new. So the 12 yajnas are a small sample. And yevam, like that, there are bahuvida yajnaha. There are many practices, many disciplines, many exercises, spiritual practices are there. If you want to know what they are, go to the original source, the Vedas. But that is not necessary. You just practice a few of these 12, and you will be greatly benefited. Okay? It's very unrealistic, impractical in this day and age to ask you to practice all these disciplines. Even if I tell you, nobody is going to do it. I cannot do it myself. So I have no right to ask you to do that. Okay? So the point is, if you observe even a few, very small, 2 or 3, the benefit is great. So he says, Brahmano mukhe, in the mouth of Brahma, which means the Veda. Vedas are called Brahma Mukha. Brahmano mukhe, pages of Vedas, bahuvida yajnaha, many yajnas are vitata, are revealed. They are given. Many are given so that people may choose something that is suitable to them according to their capacity. Some yajnas may require great physical fitness, or it may require financial resources, or other kinds of strength. So if you cannot, it is not practical, if it is impossible for you, you don't have to do that. Choose something that you can do. Simple disciplines are also there. So choose something that works best for you. See, our Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, we have big problem. We have so many choices, we get confused. One of the big problems, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, this yoga, that yoga, this sampradaya, that sampradaya, this god, that god. Oh, it is so confusing. And our mind have become, simpler and simpler. You all know about the KISS principle. Have you heard? Keep it simple. Okay. I won't give the expansion for the last S. Okay. So you do not qualify for the last one, but the advice still holds. Keep it simple. So whatever you can do, you do. So Arjuna, I want you to know one thing. All these yajnas are broadly classified. You can put them into 2 groups. One is Jnana yajna, and the other is, all others are yajnas which Bhagavan calls Dravya yajna. He calls them Dravya yajna here, or you can call them Karma yajna. Karma. Even meditation, upasana, all that will come under karma only. Karma. Once you have classified all yajnas into these 2 groups, you should know what the respective roles are. You must know what you can accomplish. What is the purpose of these 2? And you should also know whether you should do one or the other or both. You must know where this karma yajna will take you. And you must know where you start jnana yajna and where that will take you. All that you should know. You must know the role of karma yajna and jnana yajna. And this knowledge is very important. If you don't understand that, you will go nowhere. You will be in circles. Yeah? So you must know that karma yajnas will give you purity of mind. That is the role. All karma yajna, be it puja, japa, tapa, pranayama, ashtanga yoga, everything other than jnana yajna, all of them go under this category, and they give you they are meant for the purification of mind. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. That is the role. And they will take you up to the purity of mind. You can follow any of them or any mix of them. And what it will give you is this purity of mind, or another word for it is jnana yogyata. It'll make you fit. It'll make you fit for knowledge. Jnana yogyata, fitness, eligibility, qualification. Because you need a pure mind, pure, sharp, focused mind. You need to absorb, to understand the teachings, to gain that knowledge. And all this karma, upasana, etc., all of them give you that eligibility, make you fit for it. And having gotten that purity of mind and focus of mind, you have to necessarily come to Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yajna. So you have to do them both. So earlier on, I posed the question, should you do one or the other or both? The answer is, you have to do both. You don't have a choice. You have to choose them both. But in the former, in the karma yajna part of it, you do have a choice. So many options are given to you. And that's what I mentioned a little earlier, that depending upon your ability, your inclination, etc., you can take any of these disciplines, any of these 11 in the sample, or any others. And you can practice those for gaining purity of mind, the focus of mind. Choice is there. But once you get that, you have to embark upon jnana, jnana yajna. There is no option there. You have to do it. You have to come to jnana yajna. So Sri Krishna advises, follow any karma yajna, purify your mind, get focus of mind, concentration of mind, then follow jnana yajna. Gain the knowledge and be liberated. So this is the roadmap. And he also gives a warning here. Tan sarvam, all those other than jnana yajna. That means karmajan vidhi. Vidhi, no. Karmajan, born out of karma. They are all born out of karma. Know that. You should know their plus points as well as their minus points. They can give you purity. All those karmas can give you purity of mind, but they cannot give you knowledge. At the end of karma yajna, your mind will be pure, but it'll still be ignorant. Even the culmination of Ashtanga Yoga, the 8th step, when you successfully practice and reach that level, the Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, then again it makes you only fit for that knowledge. Doesn't make him a jnani. Because even that Yoga Shastra, it's a Dvaita Shastra. So that is where these are the limitations. You should know that. Jnana Yajna is very different. We will see the details of it a little later. So Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, evam jnatva, knowing it in this way, having understood that karma yajna gives you purity of mind and jnana yajna will give you knowledge and moksha, you should follow both. Then you will vimokshase, you will attain liberation. So this is one meaning. Bhagavan had also said earlier, tatte karma pravakshyami yat jnatva mokshase ashubhat. I will talk to you about action, knowing which you will be free from bondage. He said that. And Shankaracharya gives a terrific meaning. Karmajan vidditan sarvam. All those actions are done either by the body or speech or the mind. Manasa vacha karmana. They're all done by these upadhis. As far as the Atma is concerned, it is actionless. Atma doesn't do any karma. It is akarta, abhokta. It's not a doer, not an enjoyer. So, evam jnatva, knowing that the Atma is actionless, you will be liberated. Because you will gain the realization, you get the knowledge, you are that Sachidananda Atma. So, knowing that, you will be liberated. So, you remember, karmani akarma yah paschet. The one who sees all karmas as that are the upadhis and the akarma of Atma. Akarmani cha karmayah. He who sees in the akarma of Atma, all actions are possible. Sabuddhiman manushyeshu. Later on he will say that. He said not said that. He has gained this knowledge, he will be liberated. So you understand both ways. The key is that you get the understanding, you get that knowledge, and you will be liberated. Purity of mind is a must. So you have to undertake that. Jnana, great, and all. We extol, praise this jnanam. So don't say, I will jump right into it. That won't work. You have to be fit. That mind should be pure, and for that, karma yoga is a must. Karma yajnas are a must. In all these various yajnas, which is the best? So the next verse answers this question. It's a beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. Quite often it gets quoted. Let us read verse 33. Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat. Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat. Jnana yajnah parantapa. Jnana yajnah parantapa. Sarvam karma kilam partha. Sarvam karma kilam partha. Jnane parisamapyate. Jnane parisamapyate. Shreyan dravyamayad yajnat. Jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. The glory of Jnana Yajna is praised here. The greatest Yajna is Jnana Yajna. He says, Jnana Yajna Shreyan. Jnana Yajna is superior. Superior as compared to Dravyamayat Yajnat, as compared to all other Yajnas that are Dravya Yajna, Karma Yajna. Those 11 yajnas that had been sampled here, discussed earlier, they are not as good as Jnana Yajna. Those and others, Bhagavan calls them Dravyamaya Yajna. We can call them Karma Yajna. They are called Dravya Yajna because generally in all of them, some Dravyam, some material, some substances are involved. Now, Jnana Yajna is superior to all of them. And the reason for superiority is given in the second line. He Parantapa. Parantapa is an epithet for Arjuna. He Parantapa, scorcher of enemies. Sarvam karma akhilam partha. O Parantapa, he Partha, he Arjuna. All these karma yajnas, sarvam karma, all of them. Jnane parisamapyate. They culminate in jnana. All karma yajnas reach their end only in knowledge. They are fruitful if they end up in knowledge. They would have done their job if it motivates you to take to jnanam and gain that jnana. It's like cooking an elaborate meal and you don't eat. What's the point? You put in all those efforts to prepare delicious meal and you don't eat. What's the use? The proof of the pudding is in its eating. All your sadhanas are fine. They are meaningful only when you come to the final step of jnanam. And you gain that liberation. All karma yajnas are incomplete without jnana yajna. Vedas give freedom to you. In that you can choose how to come to that jnana. In that you have a choice. You can choose any of these karma yajnas. Using them, you purify your mind. Don't stop there. Then it has not done its job yet. You have to come to jnana. You continue your puja, temple visits, archana, aradhana, pilgrimage, as long as you want. Ultimately, you have to come to jnana. Other than jnana yajna, whatever you do, you will be traveling from finite to finite. You have to understand this very carefully. There are some people, they get fascinated with the sadhana and they are stuck in that. Sadhanas are good, they have a role to play, but you understand what the role is, use it for that purpose and move on to jnana. Otherwise, the journey is not complete. It's like exercising on a stationary bike. Running on a treadmill. You don't get anywhere. You stay in place. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should not exercise or on a stationary bike or on a treadmill. Definitely, it has benefits. It gives you health benefit. The aerobic benefits are there. I'm not denying all that. But what I am saying is, you won't move anywhere from, you'll be in that exercise room. That's all. So if you want to go somewhere, you have to get off that stationary bike, get off the treadmill, either walk or hop into your vehicle and go someplace. That's what I meant. Okay. Therefore, these karma yajnas are only indirect means. These are preparations. They purify your mind, make you fit for jnana. Then you have to necessarily take up jnana yajna. And that is the direct means, sakshat sadhanam, for liberation. And again, I've said this before, I will repeat one more time. Note of caution, you cannot directly jump into jnana yajna. Okay? You certainly need the purity of mind. And that you need to get only through karma yajnas. So both are necessary. Jnana will be impossible without karma. So this is one meaning. There's another meaning also. All the karma phalams are included in jnana phalam. Jnanam is superior to karma because all the karma phalams are included in jnana phalam. The logic is this. All karma phalas are finite in nature. Karma is finite. So the results will be finite. You work, you will get the result. Your work is finite, so the result will be finite. But jnana phalam leads to the knowledge. Aham purnaha asmi. Aham brahma asmi. Satyam jnanam anantam asmi. That's the knowledge you get. The jnana phalam is infinite. Infinite cannot be included in the finite, but anything finite is included in the infinite. So this idea we had seen in the second chapter itself, verse 46. Yavanartha udapane sarvata samplutotake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. When you have a huge reservoir of water, would you dig a small little well to get some water? Who will go after a limited source when you have an unlimited resource? The jnana phalam is infinite. Whereas karma phalam at best will give you only limited results. Therefore, jnanam is superior. So all this is said is to impress upon us that we should take to this jnana marga, jnana yoga. Yeah. All right. There is another logic also. This logic is called Swakantha Bharana Nyaya. A lady thought she had lost her gold necklace. Swakanta Abharana. Abharana ornament. Swakanta. That is on her neck, or on her own neck. She wore a necklace and suddenly she thought she lost it. Frantic search. After all that frantic search, she found that the necklace was still on her neck, but hidden from her sight, having disappeared in her blouse. That's all that happened. Once the knowledge takes place, no more search is needed. In the same way, one is performing all the different karmas in search of that everlasting permanent happiness. We think our happiness is lost and desperately trying to get it back. When we finally discover that happiness is my own nature, Satchit Ananda Brahman, I am. That Satchidananda Atma, I am. I am happiness. Then is any more search necessary? Why do you need to do any karmas? You achieved. You've discovered you are the Ananda Swarupa. Purpose is achieved through knowledge that we are the happiness. All actions were done because in ignorance we did all that. So by gaining knowledge, the ignorance is removed. There is no need to do any more actions. Mission accomplished. Naturally, we are interested in knowing what is this Jnana Yajna and how am I to proceed to pursue this Atma Jnana, the self-knowledge. Another important verse, once again, you will see me referring to this many, many times in Bhagavad Gita and in other texts also. Verse 34. Tadvedde pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम् ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. First, Sri Krishna points out that Jnana Yajna cannot be practiced independently by a person. The other sadhanas you can practice by yourself. But Jnana Yajna requires an external guidance. This guidance is twofold. Two things are required. One is Shastram, scriptures. The Shastra deals with this subject matter of the self. Brahma is the subject matter of the Vedas, the scriptures. Shruti deals with this topic, so you have to take recourse to that. All other texts, they don't deal with self-knowledge. They can give you all aparavidya, but not self-knowledge. They deal with knowledge of the external world. They're all objective sciences. Here, I'm not interested in any of those objective sciences, but in seeing, in knowing the subject, the very self. I want to know who am I? That's a question I'm asking. If I have to see my own face, I cannot do it myself. I need the help of a mirror. The mirror is capable of showing yourself to you. A gross mirror is required to see a gross personality. Here I am interested in knowing my inner nature, so we need a special mirror, an extraordinary mirror. That mirror is Shastra, scriptures. The word mirror, Shastra, Darpana. Shastra is the mirror. So, first we need the scriptures. And I cannot operate this Shastra Darpana myself. This mirror, I don't know how to use it. Shastra can bless you with the knowledge only if you know how to use that. Therefore, we need a second aid also, a guru. A guru who can teach what is said in the Shastra. So, Guru and Shastra together will help me in gaining this knowledge. So, Arjuna, you go to a guru. Luckily, he didn't have to go. He has already gone. The guru is always with him. But finally, he asked, Shishyasteham Shadimam. Take me as your disciple and teach me. So he had already taken that step, and we are all benefiting. Over the years of Arjuna, we are getting that knowledge also. So the point here is, to gain that knowledge, you have to approach a guru who has the ability to impart that knowledge. Qualifications of the guru also talked about. We have studied that in Vivek Shrotriya, Brahmanishta. That guru should have studied the Shastras the traditional way. He should know the Shastras himself. And not only that, he should be a Brahmanishta. He should be established in that knowledge. All right? And all that are talked about, but you don't have to go, do the test. And you cannot also. Okay? If you have enough punya balance, you will get a guru, such a guru. So have faith in that and continue. But the point here is, this knowledge should be learned from a guru. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Jnaninaha, that Jnani who has understood this Vedantic science and who can also communicate, such a guru should teach. Qualified guru is one who has the knowledge, also has communication skills. As I said, such a guru is called Shrotriya Brahmanishta. So he is called here Jnaninaha Tatvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshi means Brahmanishta. The one for whom I am Brahman is the most intimate fact. He has that aparoksha jnana. One who is established the truth, that abidance is there for him. He is a qualified guru. If a doctor is a smoker and he advises the patient not to smoke, with a cigarette dangling between his two fingers, it'll be tough for the patient to get that advice. So the teacher should also be established in the truth. So in addition, he should be a Shrotriya also. There is a parampara. He should be well versed in the Shastra, being taught by a guru who satisfied all these requirements. Such a guru, upadekshanti, he will happily impart this knowledge to you. You should make sure that you deserve that knowledge, meaning you must qualify yourself for it. You must be a qualified student. And Bhagavan emphasizes two qualifications here, Jnana and Vinaya. Intense desire, Jnana, Jnatum ichchami. I want to know. I want to know. Desire for that knowledge should be there. And then Vinaya. Vinaya means humility. You should have faith that this knowledge is the only remedy for samsara, and I want to know. That is called jnana, wanting to know. You should also have humility. I should accept my ignorance. Accepting ignorance, toughest problem. Your ego, pride, arrogance will prop up, and you will ask, why should I go to him and study? I already know a lot. An egoistic person cannot gain this knowledge. How can you know if one has this humility? It is an internal mental character. It's not visible. Can be expressed only through physical action. Go and do namaskara, prostrate, bow down to the Guru. So the Lord says, Tat vidhi, you learn that systematically. But how do you start? Where do you start? So it is said, pranipadena. By doing namaskara, nipada means falling. Pranipada means totally falling at the feet of the Guru. Shashtanga namaskar. All your angas fall flat at the feet of the Guru. So it is said, Shirasa Urasa, head, body on the floor in front of the Guru. This shows complete surrender. This is the sign of humility. Then you should express your desire to learn. Pariprashnena. You should ask for knowledge and not anything else. Go to a Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru and you ask him about worldly matters. Oh Guru, I'm having tough time. My children, they are not getting married. I don't know why these days, I tell you, 30, 34, 35. I want them married and settled and all that. Can you give me some advice? Don't ask such questions. Okay, to this Guru. Okay. You go to an astrologer if you want. If you have faith in that astrologer, do something else. Yeah? Or you don't ask for, this artificial intelligence. There are so many players in that. Which one should I choose? Which one will be ultimately successful? I want to want to bet on that. I don't want to bet on all these losers. So can you give me with that, some help with that? Don't ask that. All right. So what to ask the Guru? Those of you are attending the Vivek Chiramani, you should remember that. 7 questions the student asked. Okay. If you don't know what they are, go back, refer. I'm not going to tell you. Ko nama bandha, katamesha agata. It starts like that. What is bondage? So I've given you a hint, if not the entire verse. So 7 complete questions that a student who is interested in gaining this knowledge goes to a Guru and asks. Pariprashna, you should ask for knowledge and nothing else. Pranipada indicates humility. Pariprashna expresses jnana, desire for learning. You should also sevaya, through service. You should serve that guru. That will purify your mind. That also shows humility. Having gone to a guru, you don't need to do any more karma yoga in the outside world to get purity of mind. Serving the master, that itself will give you. Service to the guru affords an opportunity for him to find out the needs of the students, evaluate any deficiencies in the student, so he can guide the student accordingly. So many benefits are there. The teacher and the student get tuned in to each other. So seva is also important. So with all that, you become a qualified student. And when a qualified student approaches a qualified guru, knowledge will be imparted. That guru will teach that student, and you as that qualified student will gain that knowledge. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.